soda. When people say no, all fast money, no slow bucks.
Guys, look, it's almost midnight. I'm editing one video, editing another. Wait, where'd it go? I've never done this before, editing 2 videos at one time and recording one. Bro, wildest NBA show. So I'm editing 2 videos at once and recording one. It's almost midnight. I'm leaving to Vegas on a flight tomorrow morning, but I just cannot get enough of talking basketball. Today's topic, I did a mock draft earlier today. You could check it out. That's on my channel. Today, draft day coming up. Tomorrow, actually. Off season next week. NBA rumors are going crazy. And as always, there's a ton of stars involved in rumors. And about 0 or maybe one of them actually end up getting moved. So I'm here with my stars that have been involved in some NBA trade rumors. And I'm going to actually discuss who I believe is going to actually be traded or even a chance, and who I believe that this is just bullshit and nothing's actually going to happen. Take into effect, I am not counting NBA free agents, so no Kevin Durant, no Dwight Howard, no Al Horford, no, they will not be. This is trade rumors. And I'm going to start off with Jimmy Butler. And this one is the hardest one to assess because there's so many rumors with so many different teams regarding Jimmy Butler that it almost makes you believe that he is going to get traded. But then when you look at it this way, if the Chicago Bulls were not heavily injured this past season, they're a playoff team. Jimmy Butler's contract, he's locked down for 4 more years. He's just now hitting his prime. He is, if not the best, one of the best two-way guards in the NBA. Only Klay Thompson can match him in offense and defense. You just don't trade a player of that caliber. It's not like he's on an expiring contract. The Bulls have all the leverage. He's just hitting his prime. I just don't see why you would trade him. Even if you go full rebuild, I don't see why you don't keep him as a piece of that rebuild. To me, it makes no sense. I mean, if it were up to me, I'm saying there's no way the Bulls trade Jimmy Butler. But there's just been so much rumors, and I don't know. I'm going to have to go with, do I believe he's going to get traded? No. Do I believe he should get traded? Absolutely not. But I do think you should buy into some of these rumors because I don't think this is complete bullshit. I think it's complete bullshit if the Bulls do trade him, but I think these rumors are legit and they have some legs to it. Jimmy Butler on the trade block? Yes. I think you should buy that rumor and it could happen. Next name, Los Angeles Lakers guard DAngelo Russell. I don't even want to go into this. The LA Lakers are not trading DAngelo Russell. So a rumor surfaced a couple days ago that the Lakers are looking to trade Russell for another top 5 pick so that they could take either Buddy Hield or Chris Dunn. So they would take Brandon Ingram at number 2, and then they want to flip DAngelo Russell for either Chris Dunn, point guard out of Providence, or Buddy Hield, shooting guard. No, you don't. DAngelo Russell did not have a bad rookie year. Sure, he started kind of slow, but he's playing with under Byron Scott, who does not like his rookies. He did not have a bad rookie year. Sure, the whole whatever situation happened with him and Nick Young, but you just don't trade a player you just took you don't trade your 2nd overall pick. He's been in the league for 1 year. I don't think the Lakers should, and I don't think they will trade Russell. I don't think they've even discussed trading DAngelo Russell, and I don't think it's going to happen. You can't trade someone you just took at number 2. I mean, you passed up Jahlil Okafor, you passed up Porzingis. You can't trade someone 1 year into their career. A couple years down the line, who knows, maybe he could get traded. But for this offseason, no way. I don't buy those rumors. Next, 2 players from this team are discussed getting traded, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Jahlil Okafor and Nerlens Noel. The Philadelphia 76ers, who are taking Ben Simmons number 1 overall tomorrow, now have, just in their front court, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, Nerlens Noel, Dario Saric, and Ben Simmons. 5 bigs. Geez, I don't know. Unless you're going to run a lineup of 5 bigs, I don't think you can use 5 bigs. And they're all young. They've all recently been drafted. Top of the draft. They've been talking with, I read, up to 15 teams about trading either Jahlil Okafor or Nerlens Noel. Do I think they trade both? No. Do I think they trade one of them? Yes, for sure. They spoke with Boston, Boston, I read, prefers Nerlens Noel over Okafor. I'm not too sure about that. They spoke with the Suns. They spoke with Chicago. Supposedly, the Philadelphia 76ers are in love with Chris Dunn or Jamal Murray, and they'd love to get the 3rd or 4th pick to select Dunn or Murray to pair with Ben Simmons. So, Okafor or Noel, I think it's a 100% chance that one of them will be gone. I don't think both get traded, but I do think one of them is out of there. They just got too many bigs. You got to balance that team out, especially that they're kind of going from tanking to trying to start to win now. You got to trade one of them. And I think teams are split. Half the teams want Noel, half the teams want Okafor. Next up, Sacramento Kings center. I don't think you've heard this one before. DeMarcus Cousins trade rumors. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic because DeMarcus Cousins trade rumors have dominated headlines for the past 2 or 3 years. Again, dominating headlines and actually being traded are two different things because Boogie will not be traded, and here's why. Sacramento Kings are entering their new arena next year. Brand new stadium. They need something to build off of. Okay, Rudy Gay is 30, 31 years old. He's not getting any younger. You can't, whatever offer they get, it's not going to be like a DeMarcus Cousins for Paul George, or it's not going to be a DeMarcus Cousins for fucking LeBron. It's going to be, if they were to trade DeMarcus Cousins, it's going to be a package of young players and draft picks. Now, who the hell fans are going to want? And it's not just that. They've fired head coaches for Boogie. They've tried to set up a team around him. He's under a great contract. This dude's making less than $15 million a year in a league where Harrison Barnes is going to get $20 million a year. Just think about that. Great contract. Superb player. He averaged 27 points and almost 13 rebounds a game. And you just don't... And he's only 25 years old. Like I said, you just don't trade a player of that caliber. DeMarcus Cousins... trade rumors. I wish the Suns were able to land him, but no, I don't believe in that. DeMarcus Cousins trade, nope, sell on that. Paul George trade rumors. I just want to keep this one short and simple. No. Like I said, a ton of rumors come out at this time. Writers get bored. Writers get desperate for clicks. And they'll put anything out there. To say Paul George is on the trade block is a massive reach. There is absolutely no reason for the Indiana Pacers, who made the playoffs and almost knocked off the second-seeded Toronto Raptors, to trade Paul George. There is no reason for them to trade Paul George. No. No. Don't buy that. Do not buy that. Next up, someone a little more interesting, Kevin Love. Buy those rumors. It does not matter that the Cavaliers won a championship. It does not matter that they just signed him to a 5-year, $120 million deal. Kevin Love is good as gone. Whether he's going to Boston, Phoenix, Portland, among others, Kevin Love has absolutely no place on that team. He did not even average... This is supposedly supposed to be LeBron's big three. Him, Kyrie, and Love. He had his minutes taken by Richard Jefferson, who is 36 years old, just retired. Guys, there is no way. The real thing is, can the Cavs move that contract? It's not about, is he on the trade block? He is sure as hell on the trade block. It's about, is another team going to be willing to take that contract? And I think whether it's Boston or Phoenix, I do think there is a team who is willing to swallow that contract in hopes of Kevin Love returning to Minnesota. Kevin Love. Man, he needs to do whatever he can to go back to those days. I mean, the dude was dropping a couple 30 games. Whether he needs to change his number back to 42, whether he needs to get fat again, I don't know what he needs to do. But Kevin Love will be traded. Or at least they will try to trade him. I think Boston in the end is going to try to acquire Kevin Love. If I'm the Suns, I'm offering Brandon Knight, Tyson Chandler, and PJ Tucker. I'm offering those three for Kevin Love. See what the Cavs say. Next up, Derrick Rose. This one is so tough because from a basketball and Chicago franchise standpoint, it makes sense for the Bulls to trade him, and here's why. The dude obviously 1 more year on his contract. You have no idea what type of contract he's going to command at the end of this year. I mean, he's not a bad player. Sure, injuries have taken over his career. He's been killed by injuries. We know that, but he's not a bad player. Depending on this year, the way he plays, he might be asking for a lot of money. And Chicago, signaling a rebuild. They want to trade Jimmy Butler. They're not going to re-sign Powell or Joakim Noah. They're kind of leaning towards a rebuild, so it makes sense to trade Derrick Rose. I've heard the New York Knicks, obviously, but at the same time, this kid, like, he is Chicago. Like, it would just be tough to trade him from a heart standpoint. But again, basketball is business. At the end of the day, his last year on his contract is huge, but it's expiring, so I don't think it would be too hard to move him, especially to a team that has cap space like the Knicks, maybe even Brooklyn. But at the end of the day, it's just too much pride. Like, Chicago loves that dude. He loves Chicago, obviously. And I'm going to sell these rumors. But at the end of the day, if they do trade Jimmy Butler and they don't re-sign Powell and they signal a full rebuild, I think business comes first. It is basketball. Despite the heart and pride Derrick Rose in Chicago, it's business. So I think they would end up trading him. But for now, I won't buy those rumors. Until I see Jimmy Butler traded and Pau Gasol not re-signing, I don't buy those Derrick Rose rumors. Two more. Gordon Hayward, Utah Jazz. I just read today that the Phoenix Suns were trying to get him. I read that they offered the 4th pick and the 13th pick and Brandon Knight. I don't know how much of that is true because that's a hell of a big offer for Gordon Hayward, and the Jazz declined. 4th pick, 13th pick, 2 lottery picks, and Brandon Knight. Now listen, I shit talk Brandon Knight a lot, but he's not a bad player. I just don't want him on the Suns. He doesn't fit on the Suns. He's not a bad player. The dude averages 19 points a game, 5 assists, and almost 4 rebounds. 19, 5, and 4. I'm selling. I don't believe the Jazz are looking to trade Gordon Hayward. I read the Suns and Celtics, among a bunch of other teams, are trying to trade for him, and the Jazz keep hanging up the phone, and I don't blame them. Let me tell you why. Rudy Gobert, Derek Favors, Rodney Hood, Trey Lyles, Gordon Hayward, Dante Exum. This team almost made the playoffs. Why you would trade your star player makes no sense. It's not like this team won 20 games and they were in last place, so they need to blow it up. This team has been getting better year by year by year, and they're getting so close to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they're going to make the playoffs next year. It just makes no sense to blow it up for picks. Honestly, this team looks like they could be a 50-win team in 2 or 3 years. Why you would blow it up, I don't know. It makes no sense. And that's why the Utah Jazz are hanging up all offers for Gordon Hayward. They're not listening. Last team, the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been rumored Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, Greg Monroe. Jabari Parker, in my mind, completely off limits. This dude was 2nd overall pick. He's going to be a star. Our team's going to try to trade for him. Yes, I don't think Milwaukee even listens. Greg Monroe, on the other hand, complete opposite. I think the Bucks are trying to get rid of him. He just doesn't fit. They need shooting. They need spacing. He can't do anything outside the paint. He plays center, but he's not a rim protector. And in today's NBA, where you need stretch forwards, you need stretch bigs, he's the complete opposite of that. I think they're trying to get rid of Monroe. What they're looking for in return, I'm not sure, but I know they're trying to get rid of him. And last but not least, Chris Middleton. I'm completely on the fence of Chris Middleton. I think they need him because, I mean, like I said, they need spacing. He was in the three-point contest last year. He's a shooter. He just signed a big contract. I don't want to say he's the face of that team because they got Giannis, they got Jabari Parker, but he's a pretty big piece to that core. I think Chris Middleton, I'm not going to say buy or sell, but if they do get a big offer that blows them away, I think they move him. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to call teams trying to move him. So let me just go over this really quick. Jimmy Butler, buy the rumors, but I don't agree with it. DAngelo Russell, sell. Jahlil Okafor and Nerlens Noel, one of them will be moved. DeMarcus Cousins, sell. Paul George, sell. Gordon Hayward, sell. Don't believe those 3. Kevin Love, totally buy. I believe he's going to get traded. Derrick Rose, it's 2 sides to it. I don't know. Chris Middleton, same thing. Two sides, so I'm not sure. Jabari, hell no. And Greg Monroe, yes, sell. I believe he's going to be traded. Guys, speaking of Chris Middleton, the Boston Celtics offered the 3rd overall pick for Middleton. If that doesn't explain how weak this draft is, I don't know what will. 3rd overall pick for Chris Middleton. This draft, outside of the top 2, is weak. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Peace. NBA draft is tomorrow. I cannot wait.